Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Alright, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, once again, it's another lesson. Alright, and alright, tonight, just going into some, of course, this is going to be another installment of Supplemental Saparyam. Alright, we're going to be going into, alright, this book called The Key by John Philip Cohen. And it's some edification on the Northern Kingdom. So, we're just going to be going into, some history, and things of that nature. Alright, but first we're going to get, alright, Job 8 and 8. It says, For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. Alright, so, part of that is, alright, just going into history and things like that. Or, going into history, like linking it up with the scriptures. Or, going into, like prophecy and things like that. That's a part of that, that precept. Okay. So we're going to go to Genesis. Alright, first Genesis 49. Alright, Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Alright, so right now we're living in the last days. Alright, there's prophecies in the Bible. Or and there's certain like documents that link up with it. In history, as far as our people, and even like the Northern Kingdom being Native Americans and Latinos. Okay. Alright, and then skipping to verse 26. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors. Unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills, they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Alright, we're going to be talking about, the house of Joseph, which is the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. Alright, the Taino and Arawak Indians. Alright, there's, today they're called the so-called inhabitants of Puerto Rico and Cuba. Alright, Cuba being Manasseh, Ephraim being the Puerto Ricans. Alright, and this what I'm going to bring out, like in this book, just has to do with their just a little something that like these these scholars that study different languages and customs, like some of their observances. Alright, but what happened, before first we're gonna get like what happened, as far as alright, because the Northern Kingdom, alright, that's like Ephraim all the way down to Issachar. Alright, so I can actually, the top of the chart usually says Simeon. Alright, but like all those all those tribes, like the so-called Dominicans, which is Simeon, the Gad and Reuben, alright, Native and Seminole Indians, all those tribes were in the territory of the Northern Kingdom. And like Ephraim was like the head of that. Okay. Alright, but what happened during like the Assyrian captivity, or they were driven out of that land. Just get a few precepts on that. Alright, 2 Kings 17. Alright, and let's see. Alright, because like as you may know, like alright, the Southern Kingdom, that's the kingdom of Judah. Alright, for those of you that don't know, that's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Alright, the Northern Kingdom was also called the Kingdom of Israel. Alright. Alright, so 2 Kings 2 and 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. And Jeroboam, he was the first king of the northern kingdom, Samaria and everything like that. Like, he revolted against Rehoboam, Solomon's son. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight. As he had said by all his servants the prophets, so was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, men from Babylon. All right, that would be the Cushites. That's why, and this is one of the scriptures. It proves, that's why you have all these, different heathens that also that believe that they belong in the land of Israel, like these Cushites. Babylonians. Those are the ancestors of the Phalasha Jews, the Ethiopians. It's just one small example. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria. Samaria, that's the northern kingdom, instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. Okay. All right, and then, basically, that's how they, just get the edification. All right, verse 27. Or, because, they weren't following the law, so they were getting jacked up. All right, 27. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, Carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the power of the land. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord. All right, so that's all. That's probably like one of the reasons why. Or you have like Ethiopians believing that they're like one of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, because at a certain point, their ancestors were there, that replacing the inhabitants of the northern kingdom. Those were the like the Samaritans. Right, during the time when Yahushua walked the earth. That one, that one lady that like came to the what was it, like a well or something like that? All right, and Yahushua said, you have no part in this. All right, so we're gonna get all right, one last scripture. All right, 2nd Esdras. All right, 13 and 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their land, out of their own land, in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into so came they into another land. We just read that precept upon precept, all right, in 2 Kings. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen, and go forth into a further country, where never mankind dwelt. And even like so-called science and history like backs it up, as far as like all those inhabitants from North to South America. Their historical documentation isn't as long as in the so-called like old world. So it wasn't inhabited like as long. Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into the Euphrates. They entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. And the same region is called Arsareth, or which just means like unknown land. Alright, and so here's the book. Okay. Suck, I just lost my place.